Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast episode on Not Now, Mom, I'm Gaming. My name is Kay, and in this podcast episode, we'll be talking about the demo for Octopath Traveler 0 Prologue. I did add in snippets of actual cutscenes that are being talked throughout. You will sometimes catch my voice in those cutscenes because I messed with OBS and I didn't allow the gameplay to not be with the same track as my voice and the commentary I did. So I tried to cut some of those portions out, but I couldn't on some bits. So yeah, you'll hear me through some of those cutscenes. I do not add every single voiced cutscene that is within this game. I did a lot of them toward the beginning, but then I kind of added them a bit more sparsely. I was pretty excited when I saw the demo going on for this game. I didn't know anything about it, didn't hear anything about it. I am still playing just the first Octopath Traveler. I don't think that's going to be a podcast review, unfortunately, because I kind of got into it a little later. I'm just like, I'm not okay with going through it all over again for a podcast review, so sorry about that. The blurb for this game states, "Start from zero and discover the newest entry in the Octopath Traveler series. Experience a story restoration and retribution over the Divine Rings, an epic saga that unfolds across the realm of Orstera." I really do love this game that the demo has to offer. I like the different art style choices they've used. I love the overall graphics of it. They were always so good at that, even from the first game, and this just kind of just expanded on that. And here's a trailer for it in case you are interested.
In the beginning, there was nothing. Everything began with the birth of Orsa, mother of all. She created our world, the land of Orstera.
Discover the latest installment in the Octopath Traveler series. You are the protagonist of this story.
We've come to join your little lighting ceremony with some fire of our own.
Start from zero and restore your hometown with your companions.
I wish I could see everyone here, laughing and smiling just one more time. Whichever path you decide to take, just know that I'll be right there, beside you.
Goodness! Isn't it high time you stop trying to do everything on your own?
Please, bring peace to Wishvale. I'll help.
Build a town of your very own.
It's finished!
Engage in new battles with parties of up to 8 characters.
We're in this together. Please and thank you!
Time to teach you a lesson.
Witness a tale of beginnings that unfolds across Orstera. Octopath Traveler 0 is available on December 4th, 2025. Embark on an adventure of your own creation.
That's about all I gotta say before we actually begin the podcast. So hopefully you guys are interested. Hope you guys will get through the whole podcast. And yeah, let's begin it. When you start the demo for Octopath Traveler 0 Prologue, it states that you can play for 3 hours from the start of the game. I never played a demo that allowed for a set amount of time instead of stopping at a specific point, so I don't know if the game will end at the 3 hour mark, even if you're in the middle of a battle, or if it'll take you out of it, or if it'll wait until it's complete. I don't even know if it'll just stop playing at 3 hours or give you a thank you screen. I'd hope it's the latter, but you never know. I myself didn't get to the 3-hour mark due to needing to go somewhere, but I was around 20 minutes away from the time expiration. And I do really like that they allow you to do whatever you want to do, whether it's explore everything the game has to offer, or try to speedrun up to the farthest point you can before you can't play anymore. It kind of gives you a longer leash, while also still being on a leash. Plus, your saved game can carry over to the full game, so it might behoove you to not just rush through and miss things. The intro is that of a closed book, a journal is what I was thinking, and someone saying, "Remember, you can become anyone, you can go anywhere, and one day, I hope you'll share with me what you've experienced." When the book opens, there are blank pages, but then it starts in with character customizations, which if you think about it, is just the start of us sharing who we are, so we're basically filling out the first few pages to whatever this person had wanted or hoped to learn from us. As far as character customization goes, you can choose whether you're a male or female. After that comes your face and eye color. The face is very subtle with its change, and I feel like it's just changing how big your eyes are on your face more than anything with your actual face. Next is hairstyle and hair color, then skin tone, and motions. I thought the motions were actually pretty cool because you get 3 to choose from, and I think they're supposed to be the animation you use after winning a battle. I've never seen something like this in any video games I played, so it's a fun choice they give you. The final character customization is your voice. Once that's done, you get the next page that delves into which skill you want to have learned for your playthrough. You can choose from an attack skill, recovery skill, or an enfeebling skill. After this page, you can choose your favorite dish to eat, and each one of them enhances a specific stat of yours. It doesn't just stop at you choosing your dish though. You get to name it as well. In the next page, you choose 3 different belongings. You kind of need to think about what you want for this demo, and even the full release, because while some of them affect your stats, they can either be accessories or items. I don't know if the item is a one-time thing, or if it's also found throughout the game, so choosing it without realizing it's not an accessory might be an unfortunate accident. Besides these 2 things, there are also items which can probably be used at different points in the game, and I'm not too sure if those are good for the demo itself. But it's cool that we get to see what the full game will offer here. After all this, you finally get to name your character. On screens where there is simply text instead of a fancy border, there's not going to be any voice acting to it. There is, however, partial voice acting to this game. Not every single line within the game will be spoken, but most vital scenes and conversations will be. The next 3 scenes just show how amazing these graphics are going to be, from the first town image shrouded in fog, to the next town that's experiencing snowfall, and the third town that seems to look like royalty lives there, or at least some important person with all the banners and large mansion in the back. It's not even the atmospheric effect. It's the fact that the towns look so in-depth and detail-heavy that look to have come such a long way since the first game. And then we get to this cathedral where the lighting is absolutely gorgeous.
The sacred flame flickers. Oh, blue flame. What is it that troubles you?
The 3 characters coming up are the antagonists of the game.
What a splendid view. From here, the people look like ants, hustling and bustling about. But I wonder if they are truly doing all this work out of obedience to you. And not because those poor, impoverished hearts of theirs desire wealth.
Wealth matters little when it comes to the heart. Power and the fear it induces is the only thing that can control people.
But there's something you want even more than that, isn't there? I know where the ring is. It's in a small town.
So you would have me dirty my hands for this? I am a hero.
A hero in need of weapons, yes? And I shall ready as many as you need, for a price.
Covetous witch!
How marvelous. Your hearts are oh so vile. Why, I'm positively inspired.
Ah, so the famed playwright arrives at long last.
Fame is nothing more than pretense. I came to this poor hinterland because I heard I could find good material for my plays. But I suppose you two would make for fine material as well.
You are but a lowly writer. Know your place.
Come now. Everything we desire will be ours before long. It's only a matter of time.
The purple-haired guy with pale skin reminds me of a vampire, and it's been made clear that he's a writer, but it's not quite clear what the other two do specifically. It's also hard to tell if these three are something of a team, or if they're all something like close associates that barely tolerate one another, and would screw one another if it benefited them in the end.
Ah, you're finally awake! Did you have a bad dream? You were tossing and turning, and calling out Mother in your sleep. You know, you're not a child anymore. Now, your father's already outside doing what he always does. You'd better hurry up, sleepyhead.
The tutorials in this game are great. They're clear and concise and to the point, and normally have pictures to go with what you need to know. And along with key elements to know of on the side, they normally also offer a crucial tip at the bottom. Such as for the controls, it'll tell you to hold down B to dash, and that dashing has a higher chance to spawn enemies. On the next page, it tells you about the minimap, and while it doesn't look like you can make it disappear from the HUD, unless that's in the actual settings, you can press a keybind to view the entire map. There's also icons for the minimap, 4 in total, so it's not overwhelming, but I do like how treasure chests are included. It doesn't look like you can interact with anything in the world unless it has an interaction icon on it, such as with the chest in your bedroom, meaning there's no reason to spend time trying to interact with bookcases or cabinets and the like. Remember that dish you chose at the start of the game? Your mom makes it for you when you come downstairs. She's the best.
Oh! Here, I made some of your favorite. You can't fight on an empty stomach. Now eat up, and go show your father who's best.
This leads you into the tutorial for dishes. It looks like you can eat them outside of battle, and then when you go into battles, their effects will take place. But I don't know if you're able to eat something while you're actually in a battle. I mean, there's clearly a use item action to choose from when it's a character's turn, but are edibles special items for outside battle uses only? I'm not sure if I even checked within my own playthrough. However, the amount of turns that the food gives you for its effects will carry over to the other battles you get into, so you won't be wasting them. This next scene is just another method that highlights how good these graphics are, especially with panning the camera out to take in the whole town. It just looks like a wholesome place to live, with nice weather and townsfolk milling about.
There you are. You haven't missed a day of training ever since you were little. And though you do oversleep from time to time, Your swordplay continues to improve. I think it's time you became a full-fledged member of the Watch. If you can best me in battle, my technique shall be yours. Now come, hold nothing back.
Now, when we have a duel with our father, the captain of the Watch, the tutorial for path actions show up. Meaning we won't be automatically approaching him for a duel here, or anyone else for that matter. Instead, when we speak to someone, we'll have a list of options on what we can do with them specifically. Not everyone is going to have every option available. Inquire gathers information from people, whether it's catered toward their life or something more significant. Then we have wealth, power, and fame, which corresponds with the three antagonists of the game. Wealth is the ability to purchase things at a cheaper price by haggling. Power is for contending with people and trying to best them in battle for items they'll give you if you win. Fame is to entreat, which I was thinking meant stealing items from someone, but it's more like they're willing to give you the item if you succeed. So I guess it's as if you're so well known and famed that they'll gift you what they have. For now, we can interact with our father and inquire or contend. Battling someone won't show you the percentage of your likeliness to win. Instead, it'll give you a danger level and you'll just have to figure out if you're up to defeating someone of that level's number or if you have a higher chance of losing. If you win, you get whatever possessions they have, in this case an ability. If we lose a battle, our reputation with the town will decrease. During the battle, there's the tutorial for the first of battle basics, which is exploiting weaknesses. Each enemy has a shield with a number on it. By choosing an attack that the enemy is weak to, be it by weapons or spells, the number decreases until the shield breaks and the enemy is left stunned. There is a bar that shows the icons of what an enemy is weak to, only once you've hit it with that weakness. So for our father, he's weak to our sword, and he's got 1 shield point. 1 strike with our sword, and he's momentarily stunned until his next turn. Except I didn't do it like this. Instead, I chose to use one of my skills, Weaken Foundation, resulting in the 3rd tutorial for Battle Basics instead of the 2nd. And this one goes through the long list of status effects or stat effects. It's worth looking through them, and it seems like when they're placed on your character or enemy, they will have a base number of turns until they fall off. If you're unsure, the game allows you to view descriptions of icons while in battle. After this, I attacked my father with a sword, something you should never say in court, and got the 2nd Battle Basics tutorial, breaking enemies and boost mode. When you break an enemy, their defense is lower, making them weaker. Depending on how many boost points you've got, you can boost your attack up to 3 times in order to deal a heavier hit. If you're attacking via a weapon, spells may do other things, like have a stat decrease last longer. As far as boost points go, you gain 1 per turn, can only spend up to 3 per turn, and if you do use boost mode, you won't gain any BP on the following turn. This is why I like the combat of this game so much. You can really tinker around with what you want to do with an enemy, given your choices of skills and attacks. I decided to inquire my father, which was a 100% success rate anyway, and it basically gives you a number beside his... I don't know what to call it. One of the 3 categories people fall into within the game, being wealth, power, and fame. He has 1 in power. Then it states his name and a little information about him. In his possessions was a vacuum slice mastery, which we already obtained from beating him, so that's checked off. There's another area for helper skill, and that's going to be for a little later in the game.
For the future of Wishvale. That is the way of the Watch. Never forget what it is you wield your sword to protect. Now then, tomorrow is the day of reverence. The Watch must be vigilant so that the townsfolk can enjoy the festivities. That said, I'd like you to patrol the town for a little bit. You can start off by visiting the carpenter, Lavore. He seemed to have his hands full with the preparations. Go see if there's anything you can do to help.
Before we go off to patrol the town, there's a tutorial for action skills. There are skills you obtain that can also be swapped out whenever you want. Note that the Vacuum Slice Mastery skill has a sword icon beside it, meaning it's a sword action skill and only characters wielding swords may use it. When going into the menu to equip the skill, I know something was up with the journal and took a look. I guess after every specific event, the journal holds onto the information in case you want to go take a look at it again. We're at the Prologue section, with only 2 events having transpired so far, but I didn't select any of them to see what would happen because of the time constraint of the demo. At this point, you're able to go around town and speak to people, while trying your hand at the different actions you can do with them. It's honestly good to get as much of the items you can, especially since mostly everyone gives you a high rate of success with whatever you'd wish to obtain from them. Like basil possesses 3 paprika, making me think there is going to be cooking in this game since we did choose a dish at the start to take with us. I also love how the minimap slowly reveals itself as you run around. It makes for finding hidden paths a lot easier when you go out in the world, plus it offers icons for the different shops you come across.
Hey, Stia! Come help me with this.
You got it, Pops. Say, what do you think about grafting the wood this way?
Huh. That ain't half bad. Nice work, Stia. You're gonna be a fine successor one of these days.
Oh, hey there. Thanks for always keeping a watchful eye on the town. We're doing just fine here. In fact, we're almost done with the festival decorations.
See how it connects so seamlessly? Stia put them together. This girl's a downright genius, I tell ya. Just like her old man.
Very funny, Pops. Now, come on. We've got work to do.
Family business.
I can handle the rest. So why don't you go help out at the church? That's where all the festivities will be happening. They probably need all the help they can get.
Yeah, good point. I'll head over then.
Now remember, carpenters are always the unsung heroes. The town needs us, so use those strong and sturdy arms of yours to do what you do best.
Really, Pops? Your next stop's the church, too? All right, then. Let's go together.
When Stia joins your party, there is a prompt that comes up when someone either joins or leaves your party, so you don't miss out on what might have happened if someone has left for some reason or joined.
Hey, Lorana! We brought you some wood.
Ah, Ludus, Malum, thank you both so much.
If there's anything else we can do for you, just say the word. I don't think I've ever been this excited for the festival before.
I'm sure it's going to be incredible.
By the way, I saw something strange on the other side of the woods. There were some soldiers in red there. Maybe there's a battle going on or something.
Don't be silly, Ludus. That would never happen here. What would soldiers even have to gain by coming to a poor little village like ours?
Yeah, guess you're right. And even if something did happen, we've got the watch. So long as Freed's around, no one can hurt us.
Freed.
Right. Now, let us continue the preparations. Grandma, what are you doing? You should be resting.
But we mustn't break tradition.
What's the matter, Lorana?
Stia. You're familiar with the enkindling, aren't you? It's held on the night of the festival, and a blue flame is lit to look just like the sacred flame. It's customary to use an azure flamestone to light the flame. And every year, the priestess is supposed to go out and find one. But my grandmother hasn't been feeling well lately.
With the medicine you gave me, I'll be better in no time.
But we shouldn't take any chances. You're just starting to recover. I'll go find the stone instead. You should rest before the festival begins.
But if you go, who will oversee the preparations?
What's funny here is we get the prompt that asks us if we'd like to volunteer, and I thought it meant volunteering to watch the preparations, since that was the last thing that was stated. It's asking if we want to volunteer to get the Azure Flamestone. I don't know why they chose to be so vague with that one word. I also don't know what would happen if you decline some of the choices you receive, but if it's an important task, most games will make you do it anyway, so it wasn't worth declining this one or any other prompt that came up in the future. Not on the demo, at least.
You'll go find the stone for us?
I'll go too. Manual labor is what I do best.
I can't thank you two enough. You'll find Azure Flamestones deep within the cave outside of town. May the sacred flame light your path.
Now, go
Every
straight
time.
there and come back. For the gods are always watching.
Are you really going to that cave? Well, be careful out there. I heard there's some weird scholar wandering around the area.
Thanks, Ludus. But I'll be fine. I'm not going alone.
Boy, he's just a snoop that sees everything, isn't he? I did chase him down for an inquiry, and on the screen it stated, known info, collection point info. And I have no idea what that meant. Do I already know that info? Is he the one that knows that info? Also, what is collection point info? Because I haven't come across it yet that I know of. So it's just weird that that's there and nothing is being said about it. When getting close to a journal on a pedestal, you'll get the tutorial for saving your progress, which is what these journals are used for. In case you've forgotten to do so in a while, the game does have an autosave feature whenever you jump between maps, but not when you fast travel or other special circumstances, whatever that means. But there's enough save journals in the world that you can definitely keep up with them. I love the Wishvale Trail area, because you get to see forest creatures doing their thing in the background, and most games won't bother to place wildlife in a small open world area like this unless they're enemies. There's even a squirrel you can talk to, but only gives a squeak each time, leading me to believe someone in this game might have the ability to speak to animals. Otherwise, it's weird to have a squirrel to talk to when it doesn't actually say anything of use. It might be the starting area, but the enemies are no joke. They do hit pretty darn hard, making it crucial that you find their weakness and shatter their defenses. Keep in mind though that Stia does have a healing skill if you get too low in health. I took on 2 shambling weeds before and made it out of the battle with 11 HP left. Another nice thing to note is that when you level, you become fully healed. During your travels, there are going to be trail markers telling you which direction takes you where, which is fantastic of them to do, because sometimes by looking at the world map, you still really don't know which direction to take in order to get to your destination. There's a point where we do enter a mountainside behind a waterfall, and I find it so cool that they visually made it so we can see our characters through a circular hole in the mountainside. We didn't phase into another area yet, we're just behind a wall, but we can see our characters, so there's that.
Can we help you? Are you, by any chance, the scholar people are talking about? You're right. We should get going.
That would be the same man we saw at the very beginning of the game, where we saw the blue flame flickering in the cutscene.
We should be able to find Azure Flamestones in here, right? but I can't help wondering why that scholar kept staring at us.
Sounds like you guys met Nomos.
Fen! What are you doing here?
Do you have a tail?
Patrolling, of course.
Do you furry?
I'm part of the watch too, aren't I? Did something happen with Nomos on your way here?
No, nothing.
I'm not surprised. It seems all he does is watch people. Thankfully, he's not doing any harm, but a lot of people find it unnerving. Anyway, what brings you two here?
We came to find an Azure Flamestone on behalf of the priestess.
I see. She has been unwell lately.
What's the matter, Fen?
Something's not right. There might be dangerous monsters prowling the area. I'll go with you.
Look!
There they are! Azure Flamestones!
All right! We'll just take a little piece and...
Get back! I've never seen a beast like this before. Be on your guard. You're part of the watch. That means you can handle yourself, right?
I can help too!
A carpenter's hand should prove useful. Now prepare yourselves!
I love the boss fights in this game, and I think from what I've seen, you can tell when it's a boss because they're so much larger than your average enemies. But the Emerald Direwolf is gorgeous to look at. It has 10 shield points to get through, and I never noticed it before, but you can change the battle speed to go a little quicker as stated at the bottom. See, it's things like this that are easily overlooked during a battle, because our eyes are primarily going to be on the enemy itself, the turn-based bar, and our own characters and what we're about to do with them. While something at the bottom like that is clearly there for us to see, it's not where someone's eyes are typically going to go, and I kinda wish they acknowledged this tidbit in one of the tutorials. The Emerald Direwolf hits hard, so I use Stia for her healing abilities rather than her fighting skills, since her attacks weren't part of its weaknesses. Stia's a little weird to listen to in combat, because when she talks, it sounds like she's speaking in double speed instead of normal speed. But I will point out when it comes to healing, I was a little confused on where the pointer was landing on, me or her, and whoever you're about to heal will either be highlighted at the top or on the right side where your character's HP bars are. 3 indicators, including the pointer hand on the character themselves. Since the boss hits hard as it is, whenever I entered the stance of where it stood ready, I decided to break it to disrupt whatever that was. It looked dangerous. I didn't know if it was maybe going to do a counterattack or just a powerful attack once I had the chance, but I never gave it that chance.
I doubt that fiend will ever bother humans again after that. But what was it? I've never seen anything like it.
Do we have any clue?
I'm so glad you're here, Fen. And you too. I had no idea you'd gotten this strong.
But I guess that's to be expected after training with a captain every day.
Say, are you going to... never mind. Now, come on. We've got a stone to mine.
What is that? Is that a ring?
Wow, it's so pretty. You're right. The priestess did say to come straight back.
as it healed.
This makes me think he's known the ring has been here this entire time. Did he know there was some kind of monster guarding it as well? And how long has it even been here? Because this festival we're about to have happens every year, and apparently every year the priestess must collect an azure flame stone, so I don't really get what's going on here with Nomos.
Oh, thank you. How could I ever repay you?
Don't worry about it. We all need a little help sometimes.
How's your grandmother doing, Lorana?
She's doing well, thank you. But what are you doing here?
Happy to see me?
Ah, I see. You were helping them out.
Lorana!
I'm okay. It's just a little dizzy spell.
Good grief. You're just one person. You can't do everything, you know? Here's an Iridev I caught this morning. Share it with your grandmother. It should help you regain your strength.
Thank you, Finn. You're too kind. You all must be very tired. Why don't we call it a day and rest up for tomorrow?
Okay, see you tomorrow.
I knew when we went to bed we'd be waking up in the middle of the night or something. I thought it was going to be something dangerous, but we're just going to talk with Stia. I also wondered if this was going to be a Harvest Moon back to nature moment, where we'd both be sitting next to each other and gazing up at the stars, but it's nothing so peaceful as that. Although, seeing their interactions at times, I do wonder if Stia has feelings for me. Are we just friends, or might there be some kind of budding romance happening throughout the game? Even looking at the interactions between Finn and Lorana, it seemed that he harbored some kind of feelings of her with the way he spoke.
Oh, you're still awake. I couldn't sleep either. Come join me. We stood like this and looked out at the town a long time ago. Remember? I was wondering, are you going to take over the watch? You've been training every day since you were little, haven't you?
Doesn't mean we take over the watch, though.
I guess I've done the same, except with carpentry. I guess it's not easy having exceptional parents, is it? I got into a fight with Pops. He said he wants me to follow in his footsteps. I've always looked up to him. Wanted to be just like him. He works closely with people to build them a proper home. Something warm and comfortable. A place that they can call their own. And everyone who lives in those homes always looks so happy. I love Wishvale. I really do. But I don't want to stay here forever. I want to see the outside world. I want to build houses out there and bring smiles to everyone's faces. That's my dream. You really mean it? I knew you'd understand. After all, we've talked about traveling the world ever since we were kids. So, which path will you follow?
I personally don't think anyone should be held down to one place just because their parents wish them to hold down the fort of their professions when they're gone. Everyone should give themselves their own expectations to take to, and not that of others. Working as a carpenter might be great, but doing so in the same town with the same people creates a constant and becomes boring after a while, and that really goes with a lot of professions. Even with us as part of the Watch, how exciting can it be if nothing ever happens because the town is peaceful and everyone likes and trusts each other to an extent? How are we going to stay motivated and hone our warrior skills with these training battles when it all amounts to nothing in the meantime? It makes us want to go out past the town's borders and find some kind of challenge, which might in turn ignite our own wanderlust. When we return to sleep, we have that disembodied speaker telling us once again to remember that we can become anyone and go anywhere, and I'm really curious who this voice belongs to. If it's someone outside our mind, or if it's our own voice, which I don't really think that fits. Festival music.
The festival's already begun! Why don't we have a look together? I wonder if Yusha will make her famous dish!
That's my dish, not anyone else's.
Forgot. You're part of the Watch now. I guess you won't have time to dally since you'll be on patrol. Say, why don't I join you instead? Great! Then let's go!
Wait, you really mean it? You of all people? Hey, come on, Jasper. You don't need to say it like that.
What's going on?
Ludus is getting married!
Wow! Congratulations!
Ludus, the chicken chaser. The guy always getting in trouble with Free?
The guy who runs across the rooftops, then gets scolded by my old man?
Not you too, Stia! I was a kid back then. Anyway, the wedding's in 2 weeks.
I guess that means you're going to start preparing once the festival's over. If you need help decorating, just let me know.
I'd love to have your help, Stia. I want it as big and fancy as the festival itself.
Oh, Ludus! Surely it doesn't have to be that glamorous.
Ludus always gets carried away, so be sure to hold his reins tightly.
No one asked you, Jasper.
You don't need to worry. I've known Ludus since we were kids. So I'm familiar with both how reliable and unreliable he can be.
Honey.
All right. We get it, you two lovebirds.
I can't wait for the wedding!
When I went to the tavern for the first time and spoke with the bartender, a list of options came up to either switch up our party, change equipment, change your skills, and restore reputation. So the tavern is actually a good place to visit at some points, though I don't know what the difference is regarding changing our equipment and skills here, rather than doing it ourselves in the menu.
Here you go, Time. Please, drink to your heart's content. There's much more where this came from.
Drinks always taste better when you pour them, Lorana. I wish you'd come around the tavern more often.
She's an emissary of the gods. She's got better things to do with her time.
Is there a reason why Lorana is here, handing out drinks to Time, seeing as she's the daughter of a priestess, and it's even stated that she's an emissary of the gods? You'd think it might sully her image helping out in a place like this, but maybe it just doesn't really matter in the eyes of the townsfolk what each of them do, as long as they're helping out in some way, shape, or form.
Lorana, you're working too hard. Let me give you a hand.
I'm fine, really. Would you like something to eat or drink?
Don't worry about me. The good mood here is enough to fill my belly.
Oh, it's one of the wreaths I made with Pops.
It was modeled after the rings of the gods from the legends. It's absolutely beautiful. Everyone seems quite taken with it.
Happy hear that. I'm sure Pops will be over the moon, too. Speaking of rings, we found one inside that Azure Flamestone, didn't we? I've never seen anything that sparkled quite like it.
Hey, Lorana! Can we get some drinks over here?
Coming. Sorry, but I have to get back to work. Please, sit and relax for a bit. The enkindling is starting soon. You won't want to miss it.
We have to speak with Priestess Yaya to begin the celebration, and there is a prompt for us to either continue forward with the enkindling or to hold off for now. And it's with these main events of games that you should do everything you can before initiating, because you can miss out on stuff. Perhaps not highly important things, but things you might have wanted in the future.
It looks like everyone's here. Now then, before the ceremony, allow me to tell the story of the sacred flame. It is a tale deeply connected to this land. In the beginning, there was nothing. Everything began with the birth of Orsa, mother of all. She created our world, the land of Orstera. But she lamented her solitude. So she made a companion, Finis, father of all. And together, they had 13 children. Gods who were entrusted with the world's future. Though they each sought to improve the world, the youngest desired only to rule it. The 8 gods who first stood against their dark sibling fought long and hard. They imbued rings with their powers and entrusted them to the Flamebringer, Elfric. And thus, the Flamebringer brought the light of the heavens down to earth and sealed away the dark god.
Interesting
Even
rings.
now, the sacred flame shines bright to light the way for us. And so long as a fire burns upon the pedestal here in Wishvale, we shall be protected against the wickedness of the world.
Now then, let us begin the enkindling. Everyone, please take your torches in hand.
Come on, let's do it too. Let's light a beacon of hope for Wishvale.
What the? Is that fire?
And just like that, the neutral cool blue of the atmosphere turns into a violent red. The color transition is, once again, a chef's kiss to the art direction.
We've come to join your little lighting ceremony with some fire of our own.
Crimson armor.
Wasn't he the so-called hero at the beginning?
What are the Scarlet Wings doing here?
Where is the Flamebringer's ring?
Remember back when the masked woman whispered where the ring he wanted to find was? It was here, and now he's demanding it.
What a bore. Her ending was entirely unremarkable. I couldn't even write a single worthwhile passage based on these events. I need something far more thrilling.
In a rage, we end up battling 2 of the soldiers outside, but instead of being able to defeat them on our own, which I think we could have done, the battle stops mid-stride and our friends all show up to help us take on the enemies.
He was trying to help everyone escape.
It's just so depressing that we now know that none of our parents have survived the slaughter at this point.
I'll have to thank Lord Taitos for giving me this chance. After all, he's the one who told us not to hold anything back. Here they come!
During combat, the Scarlet Wings themselves are daunting to look at, but the Corporal isn't experienced. He's got blood splattered on his shield, armor, and sword from all the people that we knew, and that kind of makes him that much more of a horrifying boss to go up against. It feels good to get rid of him.
I have to go. There might be survivors.
Fen.
Take care of Stia.
Fen! I can't just run away.
I want to say Laurana takes off after Fen because they have a soft kind of relationship going on that may have been budding, and she doesn't want to see him hurt in any way. But also, if you think about it, she's a healer, and so if there are wounded survivors, she's going to be the best bet in making sure they make it. Nomo's place is small and charming, but it's not very big, making me wonder how many rooms are inside. Unless it's a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. I would think a scholar would have a huge library of scrolls and such, so here's hoping we aren't claustrophobic. Not that we get to see inside the house, so maybe the devs couldn't figure out how this was going to work either. So here we have a villain whose strong suit is power, wanting to rid the world to ashes. Literally? He just wants to burn all the towns to the ground out in the world? Because I don't understand the endgame here. He wants power so people can fear him, but when there's nobody around to fear him, who does he have power over? He seems like an idiot to me.
I thought that Taitos would heed me like an obedient dog. But it seems he may have had some other purpose in mind. Well, that's fine with me. He's not the only one who will benefit.
Perhaps he burned the town in order to find the ring and keep it for himself, when she'd had other plans on what was required for him to do when seeking out the ring. I have no idea, but it does seem like they're all scheming against one another just from these two scenes.
I can hardly believe my good fortune. Now then, shall I return home and continue writing? This alone is enough to get my pen moving.
If it were up to me at this point, I'd say he's the most unhinged. The woman is more cunning, and Titos is just a hothead child wanting all the toys, and he'll stop at no amount of destruction to acquire them. Fast forward and we can do a bit more customization to our character by giving them a job. There are 8 to choose from, and I chose Thief because I love stealing things from enemies that don't deserve them. Every job has specific weapons to use as well as specific skills. They also have different attributes, so you'll want to be mindful of that if you're wanting a character that's more of a physical powerhouse or focuses more on elemental damage and the like. After your job page is completed, we're on to the mastery page where we choose 1 of 3 options. Basically like in the very beginning of the game where the character customization was. There's an attack, recovery, and support skill. Again, each of them catering to your character playstyle. I'm going to surmise that the mastery skills cater to the job you chose, but I'm not completely sure on that. We get the tutorial for learning battle skills. You earn JP after each battle. Once you accumulate enough JP, you're able to choose which battle skills you want. Each time you pick a battle skill, the higher the next skill will cost in JP, and after so many battle skills, you get a new support skill. Alright, let the city builder portion of the game commence. We need to build a workshop in order to start working on building the town as a whole, but in order to get that started, we have to clear out the rubble, and for that to happen, we get a tutorial. It's almost laughable that we need a tutorial for clearing an area, but here it is. When getting close to rubble, a prompt will come up to remove it, and when you remove it, you'll gain material. The one thing to take away here is that you can't clear every piece of rubble from the entire town itself. It's all separated into sections, meaning you won't be able to build everywhere all willy-nilly. Keep in mind there are town tasks as well for you to finish off. Next up is the building materials tutorial, and this one is just telling you that there are materials you can find out in the wilds of the world. There will be spots that are shimmering that you can interact with to gain materials, and they're even posted on the minimap by an exclamation point.
That should do it.
It's still nothing compared to what Pops could have done, but at least we've got a place to sleep now. It may not be much, but it's a good start. And from here on out, let's do our best to rebuild Wishvale into the place it used to be.
It appears the flame of recovery has been lit.
Nomos?
This is a divine ring. This land has been taken by 3 tyrants, who too possess rings.
I love the sketchiness of the art style here, how they've captured the 3 antagonists and their facial expressions, specifically Tidus and the writer. Our lady looks the most in control of her emotions, but she is wearing a mask.
Herminia, Master of Wealth, who rules Valor with an iron fist. Tytos, Master of Power, who reigns over Emberglow. And August, Master of Fame, whose name resounds through Theatropolis. Their insatiable greed holds sway over this realm. And so long as they hold those rings, neither the continent nor its people are safe. And now, I give this ring to you. It has the power to grant its holder their heart's desire.
It's almost not worth taking, because it's a reminder of what happened. Then again, I don't think we know why he came here in the first place, so it wouldn't really matter if we had the ring or not in our mind.
What do you seek at Journey's End?
Now is the point where we select what we seek: wealth, power, or fame. I feel like this is setting us up to take the villain's place for whatever one we choose. It's weird that we had to choose one of these, and this is where I wonder if the game will have multiple endings to it, because if we usurp one tyrant to take over their role, what about the other villains? What happens to them? Also, the art style again on these card-like pieces is magnificent, but they don't really look exactly like the antagonists in question within the game. Mainly because Fame features a female with blonde hair, and our guy is pale with purple hair. The only person that looks remotely similar is Power, and even he's not quite fitting, not being decked out in armor. I wonder why they chose these people for the cards and not the people who currently hold power over the categories. I chose Wealth because I have a thing for hoarding gold in video games whenever I'm allowed to do such. So once you choose one of them, you get some information about the word you chose, and then where your journey begins, as well as whose path you're going to cross. For me, it'll be Herminia, the covetous witch. After that, Noma will say some stuff about your choice, such as Herminia being the person who set this whole town burning scenario into motion. So really, it makes sense to go after her. She's the viper and we had to cut the head off the snake. You have the choice to change what you've already chosen. And it seems like maybe there won't be more than one ending because you can still play the tales featuring the other villains. You just happen to have higher influence over whatever it was you chose, like with mine being Wealth. And hey, this will help me in getting better items or equipment, perhaps. Now that we've got the Ring of Elfric, we've acquired the ultimate technique, Elfric's Favor. Now the game throws a tutorial at you for progressing through the story, which happens to be entirely up to you. You can select a quest from the menu and track it, which can include both main and side stories. Since Dee is now officially part of our party, we get an information screen on her, such as the weapons she yields, both axe and a dagger, as well as 2 battle skills, one for healing and the other for chopping an enemy. It states that she also learns a lot of support skills. At this point, it's a matter of main quests and side quests, and for the first quest we're going for is Rekindling the Flame, which leads us to a shack in North Theatropolis Plains. I can't really imagine that there are a ton of survivors out there. I feel like the soldiers were fairly thorough in what they'd done to our home. Our next tutorial, leaving our ruined town, we get a fast travel tutorial. Basically, you can fast travel to any town you've already visited, but not only that, you can also return to Wishvale at any time by pressing a button and moving the cursor there instantly. Something I might not be using too often because I do like getting into battles for XP and items, plus there are materials out in the world that I might need. When we enter the next battle, we get the Ultimate Techniques tutorial. Elfric's Favor heals the entire party. To use it, I can press Y when the gauge is full, and the gauge becomes full on performing actions like breaking enemies. And if I don't want to use it, it can be carried over to the next battle, which is great because I don't think I used this ability once, seeing as nobody really needed this kind of mass healing. It's useful to know that Ultimate Techniques can fill up to level 3, so it becomes more powerful. Since I'd gotten enough JP from enemy battles, I went ahead and chose a battle skill for myself, which was Shadowbind, basically for its lowering speed for 2 turns. Since he doesn't know what use he'd be to a town that needs building, it leads us to another path action tutorial for Invite. Certain people will be able to invite to Wishvale, and I'm going to assume each one of these people will have a resident skill to them that'll benefit the town. For time, he can regularly receive a delivery of stone, though I'm not sure what the game defines as regularly. Returning to Wishvale expands our building area, meaning we can clear up more land to build a house for time, and maybe us as well. This leads us to the tutorial for town building basics of construction. The incoming residents need houses to live in, and in order to build a house, we need to interact with a piece of empty plot and select house from the list of facilities. What's really nice is it lists the building materials you need for the facility, as well as where you can find the material. Next is a tutorial for placement. You can't actually rotate the buildings, they'll always be facing toward you. If you place the structure down and want to move it later, you can without using extra materials, so not everything is stuck in place when you build it. Finally, the tutorial for types of structures. Facilities to house your residents, with each facility being unique. Decorations, because who doesn't like a decorated town? And then ground tiles to just change the aesthetics of the ground without the use of any materials, which really lets you play around with pathways. When I do finally place the house, you get the housing tutorial, which tells you in order to house someone there, you'll need to select housing option from the house and choose who lives there. We can place time in there as well as live there ourselves, but I wasn't really into staying in the same home as the town drunk, so I just built another house for myself. I don't think you need your own house because technically you can sleep in the workshop building, but I deserve better than that. You can't move Stia because she basically lives in the workshop. In the tutorial for resident skills, it states once someone is placed into a home, their skill activates, and so time will be gifting us stone over time. We finally get information on what periodically means, and that's the time passes whenever we win a battle. So it's going to be easy for time to fly, and I feel like I'm going to be really bad at remembering to visit town in a timely manner. The final tutorial here, for now I'm sure, is for town building, and in order to start building you can speak with Stia. And to keep expanding the town, we'll need to constantly complete various town tasks. Again, I feel like it might be really easy to forget about the city building portion of the game for me, because I can see myself being more focused on the main quest. I mean, it'll definitely be in the back of my mind, but I think my only real reason to return would be if we found a new resident. And who knows, maybe that'll be a steady enough pace for the game. Now there's a quest called Kindlers of the Flame, which allows you to find Fen. The icon for it is on the world map, and it's in the vicinity of Wishvale, so I was thinking maybe there was a path somewhere in town that would lead me to him. After a lot of running around, I found nothing, and Stia still had something to say, so I spoke to her, and lo and behold, it activated the quest. That's a little annoying. Just seeing it on the map, knowing it's readily available, but not actually being able to find it until you speak to someone. And although I know Stia has something to say to us, I thought it was going to be more about the town and not something regarding an outside quest line.
It didn't pierce the scales.
This isn't working.
It is curious why he was attacking that creature and mentioned the weapon didn't pierce its scales. Like, the thing's dead. Why does he seem upset about not piercing the scales? Unless there's a stronger monster within with scales that he's unable to currently defeat. I don't actually know, because it was at this point that I actually had to leave. And I was probably so close to another boss fight and earning Finn's spot back in town. I'm not too upset though, because I did get pretty far, and this has been turning into such a good game. So that's it, you guys. My thoughts on what is this Octopath Traveler 0 Prologue? I'm so bad at remembering game titles, even when I'd like talk about them and everything. I tried to get everything down that I wanted to talk about within the demo itself, within the podcast. I'm still a little iffy on doing podcasts for demos, but I know this is going to be a bigger game, and I think sometimes if I'm pretty sure the demo is going to stick with what the actual full release of the game will be, then it's easier to just stick this in with maybe the full game podcast if I do one, or just to keep this here to show you guys my thoughts on the demo itself and what might come in the future for the full release, though I don't know about that or anything. The 3 antagonists are really interesting, and I love the art style that's happening in this game. Everything about the art style, aesthetics. I love how people draw things. Ugh. And that's really all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast for the demo of this game. Maybe there'll be a full one with a full release. I don't know. But until that time comes, thanks for watching. And don't get in too much trouble when you say, "Not now, Mom. I'm gaming."